Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this lovely 2020 Infiniti QX50 that we have for sale. The QX50 is our compact luxury crossover vehicle, a very popular vehicle for us. In 2019 it got a complete redesign from the ground up. So 2020 is an awesome year for the QX50. This particular one is a front-wheel drive model. Front-wheel drive is standard, all-wheel drive is optional. Some people prefer front-wheel drive, some people prefer all-wheel drive. Why would you prefer a front-wheel drive one? Well, for one, obviously in a world of high gas prices, people are looking for the most fuel-efficient vehicle as possible. A front-wheel drive QX50 is going to get a 1 to 2 miles per gallon better in fuel economy because it doesn't have the weight and drag of an all-wheel drive system. Also, price point, a comparable front-wheel drive one is going to be probably about $2,000 cheaper than a comparable all-wheel drive one, so it's a little bit more affordable. And then maintenance, if you have an all-wheel drive QX50, you have an all-wheel drive system that does require additional service. So ownership costs are going to be a little bit cheaper for a front-wheel drive version of the QX50 because you don't have to worry about servicing an all-wheel drive system, all-wheel drive differential, things like that. Obviously, if you live in the Pacific Northwest, we don't get very much snow, maybe 1 or 2 days a year, so you're going to do fine with front-wheel drive. You have the weight of the engine over the front wheels, you have a great traction stability control system. But if you do like to ski, you drive over the mountain passes in the wintertime in the snow, you live in a steep driveway that ices over quite frequently, you live in an area that gets more snow than the Puget Sound area, then maybe you would want a comparable, you would want to maybe think about an all-wheel drive one. So those are the differences. The LUXE version of the QX50 is a great vehicle, beautiful leather interior. We have a CVT transmission offering an almost infinite amount of gear ratio, so you have the perfect gear ratio for that perfect driving situation. Electronic parking brake. We have a dual display system. The top screen is for the navigation. This does have the navigation package. That was another option. So we have a navigation, we have a rear parking camera. The bottom screen is a tablet-like interface for vehicle settings and apps. We have a drive mode selector. You can make changes to this, the transmission, steering effort. We have sport, standard, and eco. You can also drill down a little bit deeper using the screen below. You can make changes to the engine transmission. You can make changes to the steering effort. Active trace control, brakes individual wheels to help it rotate better through the corners. You can shut that system on or off. This has a variable compression turbo engine, so that enables you to have active engine braking. You can shut that on or off. We'll talk more about that VC turbo engine shortly. It's unique technology to Infiniti and a few Nissan products, which is our parent company. This one has 52,626 miles. That has been serviced and checked by our Infiniti certified techs. In fact, who better to buy a prune Infiniti from than a new Infiniti retailer like us? Our techs work on these vehicles on a daily basis and are very familiar with them. Really nice color combination in graphite, on graphite leatherette. Beautiful curvaceous body. Infiniti went to great lengths to really make this QX50 look good. Crossover SUVs are very, very popular. I think 70–80% of new car buyers right now are buying crossover SUVs, be that luxury ones like this or more simpler ones like RAV4s and CR-Vs. But our public, the American public, is infatuated with the crossover SUVs. Coupes and sedans are kind of falling by the wayside. They don't sell too many coupes and sedans or convertibles these days. For a lot of good reasons. Crossover SUVs have better visibility. They're higher up off the ground. They have more space because you have a lift back. So you have lots of cargo space. That's why they're so popular. And now with a unibody architecture being built like cars, they drive and they get fuel efficiency similar to cars, but you get a lot of the benefits, space, visibility, as what you would with a traditional body on frame truck-based SUV. So we have a power lift gate. Of course, you can fold down those rear seats for more cargo space. The rear seats also recline, which is a nice feature in a vehicle like this. Nice front end styling, kind of reminiscent of our Q50, Q60 coupe and sedan, very beautiful vehicles. And then we have the VC turbo or variable compression turbo engine. This was groundbreaking technology for Infiniti. They were working on this technology for about 20 years before they put in the QX50. They wanted to make sure it was reliable and very smooth. And it definitely is the case. We've had it for a while now. We started getting these in 2018 as 2019 models. We've seen these systems with miles on them. They've been very reliable, very robust. So basically the way it works is it can mechanically change the compression ratio on the fly. So if you're just kind of doing easy does it back road driving or easy does it driving on the highway, the car can tell, so it'll put that compression ratio to a 14:1 compression ratio, which will calibrate the engine to make maximum fuel efficiency. But maybe you're getting a little bit more aggressive of the gas, you're doing some performance driving, well, the car can tell, so it will quickly change that compression ratio to an 8:1 compression ratio, which will calibrate the engine to make maximum horsepower, which is 268 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Even though it's a small 2-liter engine, it actually makes more torque than the 3.7 liter V6 that it replaces. That engine, that V6 was almost twice as big as this VC turbo engine. So using turbo technology, the variable compression technology, it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. And when the QX50 first came out, it is actually one of the most fuel efficient vehicles in its class. Thanks for taking the time today to watch this video. Hopefully see you soon and have a wonderful day.